What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? Welcome back to another episode on my channel. So today I'm going to discuss about a very popular UI trend called Glassmorphism. Now, if you look at Google Images and you search for Glassmorphism, you'll get an idea of what exactly this UI effect is about. So it's essentially a couple of UI elements placed in front of a panel that appears to look like glass. It basically creates a blur for the background behind it. And I'm going to show you how to achieve this within WordPress. We're going to use block themes, and I'm going to show you how it can be done using block themes using the new Full Site Editor. So let's get started. I'm going to share a link to the Interaction Design Foundation's website, and they have a detailed explanation of what Glassmorphism is and how different companies and how different websites are using Glassmorphism in their user interface. So Apple uses it for their applications, Windows uses it for its Windows Start menu, and you can actually understand a lot about this effect by reading this blog. So it's really interesting, and I would advise you to have a look at it, to read it. You can follow the Interaction Design Foundation's website. They have some very interesting articles published all the time. So I've loaded up my WordPress installation, and I'm going to show you how we can achieve this using the default 2024 theme. Now it can be applied to any sort of theme. It can be applied to themes that aren't block themes as well. The method would just change a bit, but the entire concept remains the same, and I'm going to show you how it's done. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and create a new page. Just going to rename this page Glassmorphism, and I'm going to start by adding a cover block. I've added the cover block and I've changed the width to full width. Now with that done, I'm going to go ahead and add an image. Now once the image is added, I'm just going to add text so that you can see the difference between the background that is within the Glassmorphism UI element and the elements that aren't. Below this, I'm going to add a column. Within this column, I'm going to add some text, basically. So I'm going to add some paragraph text. Just going to go generate some text. Just going to copy paste some text from here. So this is within a column. Now what I want to do is, I'll just show you that it's within a column. So what I want to do is I want to apply the Glassmorphism effect within this entire column. I'm going to increase the height of the entire cover block. I'm going to add some padding. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go select the column block. And in the column block, I'm going to click on advanced. Within additional CSS classes, I'm just going to name a class called class, and I'm going to publish it. Now when I view this page, there's nothing to it, right? There is no effect. So now we're going to go ahead and add the Glassmorphism effect. So it's really straightforward and it's really simple. So I'm going to share the link in the description as well. So this is the Glassmorphism CSS generator, and you can see there are a couple of UI elements already here, and you can play around with the blur value and you can play around with the transparency and see how it works. You can also change the color of the background. Yeah. If you don't want that, you can just leave it as default, or you can leave it as white. So I'm going to decrease the transparency and I'm going to increase the blur value to give it a more glass looking feel. Now that the CSS is generated, we can just go ahead and copy the CSS code. Once copied, we can enter into the Full Site Editor. We can go into Appearances Editor. I'm going to go into this column, click on the three dots, select additional styles. Just going to add the class glass. Within the brackets, I'm going to paste the CSS code and save. Now I'm going to go back and visit the website. And you can see the Glassmorphism effect is added to this UI element. And I'm going to go back into the additional CSS and add some padding. Let's say a 120 px of padding. I'm going to save that. I'm going to refresh this page. And you can see the effect. It works well if I change the text to white. It would look better. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And update. So you can see how the entire effect is taking place. I want the background to be blurred a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and create a little bit more blur for that entire effect. Copy the CSS, head over to the styles, just paste it, save, and reload. You can see the background blur has increased quite a lot. It has a shadow and it has a box, so it looks really nice now. I can change the background and show you how it looks on a different background as well. Going to select the cover block, going to replace the file, going to upload a new file, and select. Change the focal point of this image, close. You can see how the effect turns out here. My background does have a slight overlay, so I'm going to turn that overlay off. WordPress now automatically adds an overlay to all the cover block images. And you can see how beautifully this entire effect takes place and how nice it really looks. So this is Glassmorphism for you. You can apply Glassmorphism to a lot of other elements, and once you've created the effect that you like, you can apply it to nearly everything. If I go ahead, create another column, you can see the other column adds up with the same effect. You can add this element anywhere. Now this is how you do it for the block themes. If you're not using block themes, the approach would be a little bit different. If you're using Elementor, you basically add a CSS class for the entire element, and then you would want to go into your appearances dashboard and select customize, and in customize you would want to add it as additional CSS. But that's just about it. I hope you liked this tutorial, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. If you think this video was helpful, don't forget to like, because it helps a lot of other people reach similar content. Until then, don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye bye.